Objects of Korea, objects of Korea, objects of Korea starts now. Ta-da! Welcome to Objects of Korea. This is our new segment, recurring series, where I'm going to talk about an object, something related to Korea, that has a personal story to me. Now, there's a little background. I am a Korean adoptee. So I was born in South Korea, but I've been raised in the United States. I've gone back to Korea 3 times, and I studied abroad in South Korea first semester at Yonsei University. So I have some experience with Korean culture and my heritage, and I wanted to bring that to you in this new series of Objects of Korea. I really like that tune and chime. Anyway, so you're wondering, what's the first object to start our series off? No, it's not a K-pop item, surprisingly enough. If you can't tell, it's this hat, this NC Dinos hat. They're a Korean professional baseball league in the KBO. They were established in 2011, and they are actually sponsored by NC Soft, the video game company. So why would I choose this hat first? Well, it's sort of a long story. It's a 2-part story. So when I was adopted, I knew I was a Korean adoptee, but I didn't have as much interest in my heritage or in Korean culture. It was sort of superficial. I did projects on Korea because I knew I was Korean, but I didn't connect with Korea. Ironically enough, I first went to South Korea in 2007, right when I was ending middle school, about to enter high school, around that age, and I was actually going to miss my favorite baseball camp that I like to attend. It was devastating. I was like, I have to go to Korea instead of going to my favorite baseball camp. I was a huge baseball player at the time, so this was, it was so devastating. So that's part one. But I went to Korea and I ended up loving Korea. I went to a baseball game, was enjoying. I'm like, wow, they have baseball too. Okay, like you have to understand, 12, 13-year-old, you don't really think about other countries and if they have baseball, you know. So I was like, whoa, they have baseball. This is awesome. This is really cool. So that's the first half of the story. I ended up, during that trip to South Korea, I really connected with my heritage. I went all in on Korean culture, Korean history, learning my heritage, learning the language, all of that. Now, fast forward, 2013. I go back to Korea on an adult adoptee tour, reunion tour. I went because I was encouraged to by the people running it. So I said, okay. We visited NC Soft. It was an amazing experience getting to go around the facility. But they also paid for us to go watch the NC Soft Dinos. So now they're called NC Dinos. They took off the soft, off the portion of the name, off the team name. So they're NC Dinos now. But I was like, whoa, Korean baseball. I love baseball. And so the NC paid for us to go watch their team play. And it was an amazing experience. So when I went in 2007, I was younger. I didn't pay as much attention to my surroundings. I remember the baseball, but when you're around that age, you don't really pick up everything. So going back in 2013, that time for that trip, I was 20. Totally different experience. I understood Korean culture, Korean heritage at a deeper level at that point. So I went to the game, and it was mind-blowing. It was just like, so all the cheering, it's like a festival atmosphere. Like everyone's cheering. There's cheers for each player, and they have all these games. It was just a great experience. But it really, I felt touched that you had this major Korean company who owns a baseball team letting us go to a game, paying for our seats, and we had really good seats. I bought a hat, and I'm a huge baseball fan, but I've never really followed KBO that much. And I was like, wow, look at what they're doing for us. This is amazing. As adoptees, I feel touched. And so I naturally became a Dinos fan. I bought a hat that day. Still have it. This hat is now around 7 years old. But it was such a really cool experience watching KBO and watching the Dinos. And the Dinos were bad that year. The Dinos still haven't won a championship. But in 2020, They're off to a very hot start. They're like 9-1. So I'm really pumped for that. But this is why this has special. It reminds me of two reasons. One is that I felt connected to baseball because in my American side and my Korean side. Because baseball is universal. Baseball is in America, baseball is in Korea. So there's that portion. I feel connected between my Korean side and my American side through baseball. The second reason is basically because it showed me the kindness of Koreans, especially for their own, even though their own is not their own. If that makes sense. So it's hard to explain, but I'm a Korean adoptee. I'm Korean by blood, by birth. But I'm not a Korean citizen. I'm not really connected to Korea that way. But the Koreans go out of their way to help us, the number of adoptees, make us feel welcome, are kind, open their homes, their wallets, their hearts to us. And so this hat is very special to me because it reminds me of that side of Koreans when I interact with them. And that's not, that sounds like a blanket statement. It's not. I'm not saying every Korean is like that. Some aren't, some are. But it reminds me of the kindness that I have experienced from many Koreans in their interactions with me. And this is a constant reminder of that. And this is why it's my first object of Korea. And how this object, this Dinos Hat, connects me to my heritage and to Korea on a much deeper level than just being a baseball team and being a baseball hat. So, I hope you enjoyed hearing about my personal story revolving around this specific item, this specific object. And I'm sure I will have many more objects to go through this series for you. Learn more about me and my journey and my thought process and my personality through these objects and learn more about Korea. For instance, Korean baseball is a totally different experience than American baseball. As one person compared it to, American baseball is like the opera. Korean baseball is like rock and roll. It's an experience. It's an amazing experience. There's cheers or everything. A lot of games in between innings. It's very different. Very different, but it's still baseball. So I hope you check them out because guess what? ESPN are showing KBO baseball games this year. So go check your DVR. Go check ESPN for past games to watch. Or you can watch it live. They do it live, but that means like it ranges between like 1 and 3 a.m. start times. So I don't know if you'll East Coast Standard Time. So I'm not sure you'll be able to do that. But go catch out some previous games this year through ESPN. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The only problem is there's no fans yet. So you're missing part of the experience. But check YouTube, and there'll be some videos on the cheers. It's amazing. But thank you so much for watching. And be sure to be on the lookout for future episodes of Objects of Korea. Next one might be the K-pop one you're looking for. Until then, I bid you adieu. Be sure to check out other Objects of Korea videos by the Emperor on YouTube, as well as on Twitch, because that's where he premieres them live. Also, be sure to check out his other series, such as The Path to King, on YouTube, as well as on his premieres on Twitch. So give him a follow on Twitch, YouTube, join the Discord, join everything. Until next time, the Emperor is signing off. His grace is immeasurable.